Here's the thing. I was scrolling through TikTok about 6 months ago, and I started to come across your face again and again. You know, like once you see a feed once, it's one of those things where they kind of keep repopulating on the timeline again and again and again. And I was like, okay, I clearly need to know about this guy because he's just on the feed nonstop, which is a good thing. But then I was like, oh wait, he just signed with Def Jam. He's going places. And then, like, dude, the day I would realize, like, I'm trying to figure out who I could reach out to, who I could talk to, you released Tequila. And we hear this song right here.
I know my breath still tastes like tequila from last night. I can still see.
And I went, okay, all right, that's it. Let's make some calls. Let's get him on the show. So, real quick, man, I have to ask, how important are the visuals to you when you're writing a song in real time? Like, obviously you're a lyricist, obviously you're a storyteller.
So when I'm writing, I try to every time we start a project or a song, I have where I'm at in my head. Like when it comes to the visuals and what I want the listener to see when they hear the music without the video, just what the audio makes you visualize in your head. Like it's extremely important to me. I like to all my work. Like you said, the lyrics and stuff, I like for the lyrics, the beat, and the visuals to all stand alone. So I want you to understand what it's about without having to need the other two. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do. I find that really interesting because I've actually asked this question to quite a few artists, and a lot of people say, oh, the visuals will come next. But me personally, I'm not a songwriter, but if I was, like, I'm just such a visual person, and I come from a space where, like, I don't know if you get this at all, like you're kind of walking down the street with a friend, you're having a conversation that's kind of funny, you can almost see that camera angle of what it would look like if it was you. You know what I'm saying? And
Bro,
so
I'll be in the car listening to music like I'm in the music video, like head on the window, like camera panning. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, totally. Talk to me about Audible Future Memories.
Audible future memories. So when I try to describe my music, I have a lot of people say, you know, what kind of music do you make? What genre are you in? If you had to describe your music in 3 words, what would they be? And so I just, you know, Audible future memories is just like I want my music to be fresh but comfortable at the same time. I want you to feel like you've heard it, but it's so new that I just want it to be personal. I want it to be like I want you to be able to introduce yourself to it, and I want it to feel like a person you've met but you've never seen before. If that makes any sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. I actually used to work in country music, and you hear that from that genre quite a bit. I think it's more of a Southern thing, and you could probably speak on this as a Carolina boy, that you want people to be comfortable. You want to already feel introduced before you stick out your hand kind of thing. And country music really embraces that, but you don't hear that quite as often in pop or R&B or on even the rap side. But now it's starting to make more sense. Now I'm starting to get a lot more of the puzzle pieces are coming together. And also when you can pivot effortlessly between genres too. You know, I saw this on Instagram the other day.
Don't kiss me like you miss me right under these lights on Fifth Street. My lips still taste like whiskey.
And A, I go, okay, well that slaps. That needs to be released right now. But B, I'm like, okay, this guy's got more than just the ability to songwrite or just the ability to sing. He's got the ability to introduce himself with his talent. And I really think that is apparent. I'm glad that that's kind of what you're going for, because it is your biggest strength, man, on top of just like casually being good at this whole music game.
Nah, I'm quite awkward when it comes to talking. So, you know, music has always been my release and my, you know, now that I'm able to do it for a living and really introduce people strictly through music, and that's how I meet most people, it's just such a weight off my shoulders because I can really I can let myself talk before I talk, if that makes any sense. Like I can just put on a song and now we're acquainted and we're comfortable without me having to mess up the first impression by talking.
Do you think that's why you have so much music constantly coming out? I mean, you have your SoundCloud releases, you have your official releases, you're just putting little clips on TikTok and Instagram. Is that a component of that, just because that's the easiest way for you to get emotions and feelings out?
For sure. Like, you know, some people make music and some people are music or is music or am music, and however you want to say that. I just feel like, you know, it isn't something I do, it's something I am. And it's something that if I didn't do, I would drive myself insane. That's my release. That is my emotion. It's not how I get my emotions out. It is my emotion. It's the only way I know to, you know, cope.
How
stay
quickly
relevant.
does that need to happen when you're feeling something and you're like, damn, that's a lyric or that's a song or that's a melody? How fast between brain thought and you're either putting a voice note in your phone or you're on Logic or you're in the studio or you're on a guitar?
So like I have so many people around me that have notes. Like we'll just be talking and somebody will say something hard and like I'll look to my right and be like, yeah, write that down. Like Bud 24, my engineer, like all the time, every day. I have so many album names in my phone and so many different hooks and verses and fully written songs and just key points. Like if I'm watching a movie and somebody says something that resonates with me, boom, that's a song lyric. Like it's just, I feel like every sentence is a song. You just have to figure out how to put it together the correct way. You know what I'm saying?
How fast will you act on it though? If you are like, damn, that's a hard lyric. I mean, is it something that you're comfortable just letting sit in the notes for a while, or do you got to get on it right away?
It depends on how hard it is. It's like, you know, if you know, you know. If it hits you, it's a feeling. That's what music is. That's why I enjoy it so much. So if somebody says something that makes me sit down and, you know, if it catches me right, it's got to be right then. I've left plenty of events to make music. I've also come home and tried to make music and it just doesn't come out the right way. It's all a timing thing.
So if you've ever been to a party with Anella before and he just like ghosted, he Irish goodbye, you know why. That's the reason.
Yeah. It's work. It's important. Priorities.
Sorry, Grandma. I know it was your birthday, but listen, you'll understand in a bit.
Yeah, good gifts on the way. I promise. Yeah, it'll be worth it
for sure. Well, man, I'm a fan. I'm a fan quickly, and I can't wait to see what's coming up next. It's kind of a very interesting way that you're putting out stuff. You're merging traditional releases and how the music business has worked for 40 years with the new era. That is, you know, when you come up with something, when it's done, it's out, it's yours. And I think that you're navigating it very well. I think you're giving, you know, the fans that want that instant gratification, that SoundCloud access, that Instagram, that TikTok access, it's there. But you also got the Tequila music video, got the Tequila lyric video. By the way, huge shout out for doing a lyric video that you're actually in. I'm always a fan of like people who are in their video as opposed to just text.
Thank you. No, that was super fun. That was spur of the moment for real, but it ended up turning out really good. And, you know, it kind of had that MTV feel with just the... I wanted to fish islands. I don't know. It's just I wanted to be nostalgic. I wanted to be friendly. I wanted to be new.
It had 90s, 2000s TRL written all over it. And I know there's someone on your team that knows my history a little bit, but I actually used to host for TRL, so I can give you that stamp of approval. I'm glad that makes a lot more sense now when I'm like, why is this so familiar? Now I realize like, oh, it's because this is what he's going for. That's awesome.
That was the golden age, man. It's just like, I know I'm not old, but it makes me feel young. Like I remember being 8, 9 years old, riding to the lake in a car and listening to those songs come on and seeing the visuals, seeing the videos, seeing the, you know, you go on TV and it's just playing music videos all day straight. So I can hear the music and I can just see it. I just see what it is. And that's the feeling I want music to give people. I want you to be riding in the car and just the song comes on and you immediately know, like visually, emotionally, wherever you are, when that song comes on, you're with me.
We'll end on this then, because I'm sure you've been asked 1,000 times and you'll be asked 1,000 more. Who do you look up to? Who influenced your music? But as far as visuals go, as far as whether it's a music video or TV or film or cinema, what is something that you remember being one of the first things you saw that you went, I want to create visuals like that made me feel the way that did?
Thriller by Michael Jackson. I was super little. And when he turned to the camera and his eyes turned yellow, I remember it actually made me scared. Like I forget how old I was the first time.
Dude, it's still terrifying. You look at that. Bro, I mean, that's no joke.
It struck fear in me for real. Like I couldn't finish that part. I had to skip it and go to the actual music part. But like just growing older and that feeling never left me. So it's just like, oh my gosh, just so inspiring. Like it's an itch. It's an itch you got to scratch. It's an addiction.
It is. Real. It is. Then we'll end on the super joke interviewer due diligence question. Would you ever do makeup for special effects makeup for a video?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I grew up when I was in high school. I did like theater and stuff. That was my first time putting on eyeliner. But yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. If whatever sells the story, I wanted to be real. I wanted to be like heart, like string pulling.
I love it. Anella Herim, man. I can't reiterate it enough. I'm a fan. I'm sure we'll talk soon. But I appreciate you taking the time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Be well, my friend.